these cute little things. So we want to thank you guys for bringing it to us.
Yeah.
They're very sweet. I was looking through these letters and from the second grade class and they're really cute. All right, any awards? No? Okay. Any adjustments to the agenda? Well, other than the, okay. Public comment on non-agenda items?
Nope.
All right, consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve consent agenda. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All right, fiscal overview, Lacey.
Okay, sorry, in our packets, I included our excess operating spend down plan that the state approved for our food service. So basically, we need to work on staying low. We don't want to go over 3 months operating costs. We want to be able to, so if we go over that, we have to submit spend down plan to the state to say, hey, we have a little extra money, here's how we're gonna spend it down, and it's significant. We knew we were opening up a new facility. We knew that we needed things for this facility, so we were kind of hanging on. And so the state let us extend out our spend down plan. And so we have to have it all spent by this end of this fiscal year. And I've included everything that we've already done and what our plans are and what we've been approved for. I'm not sure if we have left. I think Dan has already completed all the quotes. And so we're now at the spot where I'll meet with him again and Jamie and see exactly where we're at. And then, because I don't want to wait till June to spend it, so we'll just do it as soon as possible. So some of those things are, they allow us to get a generator for when we have these power outages, which will help, our food not go to waste, which has happened a few times. We can receive new cafeteria flooring, in both cafeteria spots, a new steamer, and the plumbing for that. So basically I tell the state, here's what we're doing, and they've approved everything that I've submitted to them. So that's all taken care of. And then also you received an email from Sendell. It's not a spam. Please complete the survey this week. I know that we're a little hypersensitive, which is good on spam emails. So our ending fund balance creeps up a little bit each month. It's not, there's no alarms there. It keeps increasing. So that's good.
Any questions for Lacey? Moving on. Reports and discussion, local service plan, ESD Superintendent Paul Preston.
You can do whatever you want. Also, Dan is fine, that's perfect.
Good evening. Thank you, Superintendent Perkins and members of the school board. Paul Peterson, the superintendent of South Coast ESD, and on behalf of the board of directors for the ESD, I just want to thank you for inviting me to come here tonight. With me is board member Billy Reeves from the ESD, and we're here to provide a brief description of the local service plan and answer your questions about related to the local service plan, which is on your agenda tonight. As an overview, every year the local service plan, or LSP, gets reviewed and approved by the regional superintendents, then the ESD board, and then the boards of each of the 10 school districts within South Coast ESD's service area, which ranges from Breedsport to Brookings. The local service plan on your agenda tonight is unchanged from the LSP you approved last year and the year before, remains unchanged for quite some time. This plan will be reviewed by the area's 10 school district superintendents and approved on November 21st, and then the ESD board of directors also voted unanimously to approve it on December 10th of 2024. And this LSP was designed to provide the maximum flexibility to each of our 10 districts and how they want to use their ESD dollars. And then each chooses from a menu of services what they need from the ESD. We call those tier 2 services. Altogether, tier 2 services comprise about 95% of the ESD's resolution dollars. It's just about 5% in tier 1, what we sometimes call core services, which benefit all 10 districts. Those tier 1 services include school registration, audiology testing, birth to 3 evaluations, and the Safe Schools program. So South Coast ESD is very proud to partner with Middle Point School District to help deliver the highest quality programs services for students in a cost-effective manner, and I'm happy to address or answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Paul regarding the plan? All right, guess you're off the hook, Paul.
That's it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That's, I'm glad.
All right, so moving on to superintendent report, Steve.
Our seismic grant application has been submitted from us to, ZCS. ZCS will then, is submitting it, I think it's the due date's the 13th, or maybe it's today, I guess. And then, we'll know this spring, I think, April-ish, early April. We received numerous, letters of support to go with that. And they were very happy with the amount of letters that they received, so that's good news. First semester's over next Friday, January 24th, so there'll be no school next Friday. Is that right? Next Friday? That's right, yeah. And then, of course, no school next Monday, for Martin Luther King Day. So next week is a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, grade day next Friday, and then, change of semester, the following day. And then we will also be changing our stuff here at Maple. We're going to offer, the last period of the day, FFA. So Julie is coming. Julie is, well, you have that on you. Julie is, retired as of February 1. Her date is February 1, so she will be working a half day, at the high school, and then coming over here for a period at the end of the day. So we'll have FFA here. And then there's also because of that, we have an opening for a half day position at science. So that position, is open. We do have an applicant, obviously. And so we'll get through that process before the semester's over so that we can be ready. So there'll be two part-time people, basically. Basically, it's a job share, at the high school. And then, of course, Julie's going to come over here and teach a period of FFA. So that will start at the beginning of the next semester. Other than that, we've had one very, very minor leak in the roof here, which is amazing. I was thinking it might be a more porous than that. So some of the fixes we did last summer worked nicely. There is a situation with, and if you have gone to basketball games at Miller Point High School, gym is cold. So the motherboard or something, because that's not like this with just basic thermostats, because this I can come in and operate very quickly and it'll heat up very quickly. And I just turn it up. So over there it's a huge computerized system that comes out kind of up by the weight room. And right now that's not working very well. So it's going from 72 to 61. 72 to 61. So it's getting to a number and then it's shutting down and actually blowing out cold air. So it blows out cold air until it gets to a certain temperature and then it's coming back. So obviously something is awry. So I'm quite sure who would love to come and see us. We'll be coming to see us to see if we can get that problem resolved. If you didn't know, we did the asphalt over Christmas. So that is done at the high school. So now we are ready to put up the greenhouse. We have bids. So the greenhouse will, I don't know exactly when it's going to start, but it will be completed before the end of the school year. So the greenhouse will be up and operable. And then I guess the question is, what are we going to do with that area in the back? And I'm not quite sure. So that's to be determined. Other than that, I think things are going quite well.
All right, any questions for Steve?
Go ahead. Is there more work being done on the track?
He is working on it continually. Now not, and that's he is Tank. Wayne Parrish, and continues to prep for the D rings. And we don't have a time as of yet, scheduled to put in the 2 D rings. So I'm assuming, I'm sure, pretty sure it's not gonna happen this spring, it'll probably happen this summer. So the 2 D rings and the, long jump runway, triple jump runway will be done, this summer, so. We should be there, but like I said, he continues to work, on it over time, so. Yeah, getting it, well, and now you can't do it, of course, so.
Any other questions for Steve? Okay, Carrie, enrollment report.
We're down just a little bit this month. We had lost a pretty good sized family. I think there was like a family of 6 that left the area during the holidays. So, but we also gained 2 this week, just here. And so, I mean, it's that time of year they fluctuate, so.
Any questions for Carrie? All right, so we're first reading of policy updates. There are some policies that are going to be taken out of that, which we got an email from our lawyer about. It's like it's ACAR, ACAR1, ACAR2, GBN, JBA, and JBA, GBN. GBN, JBA, AR1, and JBA, GBN, AR.
Thanks, Paul.
GBN and JBA, AR2, and JBA, GBN, AR2 with, so those and JFE are the ones that are not going to be read. So we're taking those out.
And those deal with Title IX. They deal with, pregnancy in the schools. So that's going back. It didn't change. It was going to change drastically. Now it's going to go back to the way it was written. So some of these policies are reverting back to 2020, basically. So they're not as progressive.
And the good thing is we haven't taken any action. So basically, we're just not gonna
Right.
read it.
It's not just,
Yeah.
change, we're just not
Take them
changing.
off. Yep.
So is it aligning it with federal law rather than Oregon law?
Eventually, I think Oregon law will catch up with federal law. All right, so any discussion for the first reading of policy updates? All right. Discussion of updated administrator. Any questions or discussion about the administrator? Come on. All right. Classified negotiation committee.
Yay, guys, it's starting again.
This is, correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle, but this is opening. This is opening the entire document. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what it's called. So this is opening the entire document. And we do have a new, who we have not met yet, but we do have a new OSCA. So, and like I said, I have not met her at this point. I think she's very busy, must be very busy because we haven't heard. So, so we will, I'm sure we will sometime.
Okay, so are we just gonna go with the same old? Anybody else want to jump in on that?
Oh, look at the time.
Look like
It's just, yeah.
Okay, so- Okay. Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And then we have resignation of board member Lisa Dumeyer. She had sent in her resignation. She hadn't been to a few of the board meetings lately because her kids are both in sports, and so she just couldn't really put the time in at this time, so she decided to step down. So.
Can I have a discussion on that situation? Okay,
You need-
so this would be the time to consider, and moving to a 5-person board. And it has to be done very quickly. And we have to do, there's a couple things, but I don't know. We have a situation where, when we did this in Port Orford, we did it in March, April, prior to the, actual voting in May. Well, they're asking for information on February 8th, and that's not doable. Because what has to happen is you have to put it out there that, and so what really changes is just the policy in our policy. So it's changing from 7 to 5, knowing that we've lost one and that we have, and that's not confirmed yet, but maybe somebody's not running. So then you're gonna open up 2 or 3 positions would be, 3 positions would be opened up this spring, correct? So, rather than having someone run unopposed or having someone run and nobody runs, then you have a situation. I'll tell you about a situation. We had this situation in Port Orford. A person received 2 votes, write-ins. That person became part of the board with 2 votes. You only need 1. So it's a dangerous slope that happens when you run, when there's nobody on the docket and someone either votes for themselves or whatever else. And there is no vote number that lets that happen. And like I said, that's a slippery slope. I've been through it. Major agenda situations. And I'm just saying it's not a good situation for a board, nor is it a good situation for a superintendent. So that, they're doing it for the wrong reasons is what I'm saying. So rather, there's are ways to change it, but we have to find out very quickly because you have to let the community know. Community has to have, just like opening Maple, they have to have 30 days to come visit. We have 0, but Port Orford's tiny, right? And it may be 0 here also. No objections to going, because why is there 7? There's 7 because you had Dora, some, Broadbent, some, Arago, some, Bridge, some. So you had the 4 zones because they all had schools. They all had elementary schools, correct? And then you had 3 Myrtle Point proper. So there's your 7. So there's your 7 zones. Okay. So we're no longer zoned. So it's a matter of finding people that want to be on the school board. So it's not a zoning situation. You don't have to go find someone in Arago, nor do you have to go find someone in Broadbent to run. So it's a possibility. I'm not even know that I can't even say it right now. It's a probability because they have to know by February 8th for some unknown reason to be able to put it on but the actual ballot doesn't come out till May. So that would be something that I'd have to go ask the board of the commissioners to say, hey, we'd like to do this. Is it possible? So that's, if we want to talk about it, we can discuss it in February and see what we want to do. If that's a possibility, we let it sit for 30 days and then you make an action item in March. That may not fit this county's time. Well, it fit Curry counties because they didn't care. But in this situation, they might care. But like I said, one way or the other, it has to be done correctly, and you have to have community input to do either one. And maybe we don't even want to do that, but it's something that we can discuss and look at, knowing that we're down 1, and that we have one of those that is going to be open. No reason to fill it now because it's opened as it becomes open in July of 2025. So, but there'll be 2 others. So just something to discuss, something to think about and discuss.
But we don't have to fill it now. There is.
No, there's no reason to fill it. There is really no reason to fill it for 5 months.
Yeah, I just want to do the legal.
You don't have any book, you really could sit here with 4.
Yeah.
As long as you had a quorum every time, if you had a voting quorum, but there's no reason to put it back to 7 for 5 voting quorums. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right. Then I got to be running. Yeah, so. I knew that. And if other people didn't know that, there you go.
Yeah.
There's going to be another resignation that's not there.
So you are this year, you will be this year, you would have to run for your position. And Justin, I think you might be 2. I think there might be 4.
That might be 4. Okay. Anyway, like I said,
I'll have to double check.
a thought in your head, just to think about it so that we can, come back with some educated discussion. And I will have a, and like I said, it may be you. Coos County may just say, no, you're not gonna do it, because they hold that ability to, to hold us to that. So they may just say, no, you haven't met the timelines, you should have done it in October or whatever. Well, we didn't know, but, so anyway, that's a point of discussion. So we'll put that on next agenda.
Any public comment regarding agenda items? No, okay. All right, action items, 10.1, approve local service plan.
Make the motion to approve the local service plan.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. 10.2, classified negotiation committee.
I make a motion to approve the classified negotiation committee. Me, myself, Justin, and you.
And you.
Okay.
You know your meeting, so.
Well, I'll be here for that.
But you-
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, I'll be fine. Guys, see you later.
Remember at Laura?
All right. Any discussion?
Have a
All in
second.
favor?
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All right. And then accepting the resignation of board member Lisa Dumeyer.
Motion to accept the resignation of board member Lisa Dumar.
Second.
Oh, there's.
All right, any discussion?
Discussion, was she the chair?
Vice.
She was vice chair. You need to appoint another
Yeah.
vice chair?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so make that.
We can make an adjustment and make that an action item, I guess, right now.
Okay. So let's accept her resignation first. Any discussion? All in favor? All right, so we'll add 10.4 as electing vice chair.
Nomination.
Any nominations for vice chair?
I can do it if nobody else wants to do it.
I nominate Justin.
I think he's the one who noticed, right?
Right.
You could nominate him.
That works.
Good.
We have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
You're elected.
Thank you, Justin.
All right,
Justin.
and then we talked about our agenda for February for the 5-person board.
Hey, Katie, one more thing on that too. One of the things I want to remind you guys, but for next month, and I'll bring more for you, but the legislature says that you all during your office at some time have to attend a public meeting law training. And you guys, they offer it through OSBA. They have it all on their website about it's OGEC who actually does it, but it's like some webinar that you listen to and do it, and then you let me know that you've done it. But at some point during your term that you're in there, you have to have done it at least one time. So it just came through in a big training I sat through last week, and I'll get you guys more information on it for the next board meeting.
Lacey, did they get the information about from the, okay.
Yep, answer the email.
Search for the survey, it's not a spam.
Yeah, it needs to go.
I told them all before the meeting ended.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay.
All right, any other discussion for the upcoming meeting input? And then for the timeline for the 5-person board, we just need to talk to Alexis.
Yeah, I'll have all the information. Like I said,
Yeah.
very possibly, really depends on what she says.
Yeah.
If we can do, maybe you, maybe no discussion whatsoever.
All right, any announcements? Okay. Bit of the order, Philip Bridget.
Thank you. One of the things that I've been thinking about since we had that event in, been the tsunami warning in the school districts. And I happened to be in Salem that day, and one of the things that rolled out from those evacuations is some of the school districts did not follow their protocol, emergency protocol. And it got me to thinking, you know, we're pretty lucky to be in this place, in this space. But that doesn't mean we're immune from future incidents, especially when we talk about, you know, Cascadia and that possible impact. And so my question is, you know, how do we go about reviewing and looking at our emergency plan and then doing community engagement if that's an option? Or getting the community engaged in what the steps would be contact. We saw a lot of transportation issues and concerns. And so it's just kind of been on my mind thinking about how to support the school district, look at that plan and make sure as parents, we're all familiar with what those protocols are if we find ourselves in a situation, you know, fires, earthquakes, just kind of bringing that to our attention as a board to make sure that we're all really well informed of what that plan is, because we may be contacted.
And we do have an emergency operating plan, and I'm just waiting to put two things in the back of it, evacuation forms from each one of them, and then I will bring that to, and Dan and I are gonna meet with Willie, the next week or so, just kind of go over some of the things. Scott's very aware of all the situations of where we go, what we're supposed to do, et cetera. So, it's just, the plan's in place. It's just, it hasn't been and published, but it has not been handed out. So.
And one of the things I love about the school district and this community is being in Salem, if stuff happens, I know that this community takes care of our kids. I know and I'm confident. And that's one of the reasons I love and I share with people. The reason I love Myrtle Point and the reason I have my kids there is if I'm not there and stuff happens, I know my kids are fine. So thank you.
Terry. I'm liking the communication going on, the things coming out on Facebook and also you keep track of what's going on for us non-parents. And just all the projects that are going and how this school is so improved, liking everything.
Sure.
Glad the roof isn't leaking.
Yeah, we did. That's up there.
For all the roofs for that matter, all the districts, glad we've made good headway on that situation over the years. Glad to not look at maps that are all red and doom and gloom. So glad we survived this far. Hopefully we can survive the rest of the winter. And I think communication's good. And I think the tsunami, even though it ended up being just a warning, it's a good eye opener for everybody. What do you do? I mean, even in my personal case, you know, like what am I supposed to do? People that work for me, did they go home? I mean, live in Coos Bay, you don't want to go to Coos Bay, but you know, so it was good to, well, yeah, something definitely can happen. Hopefully it doesn't, but I mean, we're a couple hundred years past due, so it's definitely a reality we all live with every day. So, yeah, good thing.
Yeah, all the tsunami emergency, I would work in Goose Bay, so I was always hoping if we had one of those, it'd be on a weekend when I wasn't there. But we had to evacuate and go up to Markfield where our evacuation site is. And it all worked pretty good. I just watching their school run though, there's parents, I mean, they just get crazy when they're in some situations like that. They're taking their kids from a safe zone and taking them down to a not safe zone. It's like.
You got a good look at it when the
Yeah,
school's flooded over there and everybody watching it.
They did a good job, but, yeah, there's a lot of that.
I'd have to say, as somebody who has two children, in two separate grades in this particular building at the time, I'm super happy that they're here. And that my one kid that was at the high school last year is here. It seems to have kind of mellowed them out and brought them back down to being at their grade level, age level, peer level, a little bit more contained. I feel like a lot of the boys that I interact with that come in and out of our home or our shop, for friendship or, athletics or whatever, everybody seems to be doing a lot better academically and in a different mind space as far as the kids go. And I know separating them from high school was a big undertaking, but I'm so happy that it was done. Because there is a marked difference to me, like in just some of the kids being more relaxed and not being in an overwhelming atmosphere at the school. So thanks to everybody again
for jumping through, many hoops to provide this building and try to force to make it work. To put the kids back, you know, in a group that's compatible with their age and their development. So thanks.
I will say do miss the sixth graders.
Huh?
I do miss the sixth grade.
I know. Well, and they're still kind of squirrely at that age, so, you know, it's a little bit of fun.
Middle school's a fun age.
But yes, thanks everybody. It's been a lot easier at my house and with peers, you know, interacting with other kids. It seems to have mellowed some group atmospheres out that we're getting wild.
I definitely echo everybody else's stuff, and I just want to thank the teachers and the students and administrators for all of this stuff. Like, we always appreciate, Board Appreciation Month.
Do you know?
Because that's not why we do it, but we do appreciate it all. We think it's very.
So each grade did some books. Fifth grade made the cookies. First grade decorated the boxes. No, kindergarten decorated the boxes. The first grade made the card. It'll be awesome.
So
The high school FFA gave you a little treat. There's cookies over there made by Facts. They all have nuts in them, since our thing was we're nuts about you. And then the wood shop cut out these, and so these are stackable. You color them. Like you can color them with like markers. They've done paint. Some people watercolored. Oh, you should push part. Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's a triple.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and then you stack it in and you have a little balance on it. And they're selling them. I think they're like $5 a Valentine, I
They're
think.
very cute.
no, it's very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
And with that, I will adjourn the meeting.
They're having.
Please take
Lost, oh, I know.